said it. You just have to believe it, and that's it.
Dr. Anthony L. Trice, dedicated to sound teaching, strong training, leadership, and development. Prayers are being answered and testimonies all around the world, helping change one life at a time. Find out how to be a partner with Anthony Trice Ministerial Network. And thank you for tuning in for today's message.
We don't understand that tithes and offerings are principles. Principles mean recipe. Y'all quiet.
Now continuing in the Word with Dr. Anthony L. Trice.
That's good. So know what God was saying? Abraham had the type of favor on him where whatever he needed that was in heaven he got, and whatever he needed on earth he got. That's favor. Everybody ain't like life ain't like that. Watch this. Read.
And blessed be the Most High God, which have delivered thine enemies into thy hand.
Watch this.
And he gave
his enemies got delivered in his hands. Watch this. Read.
And he gave him tithes of all.
There it is right there. You know why Abraham had this favor on his life? Because he was a tither. So tithing gave him access to the supernatural. Listen, when you're operating in the supernatural, it doesn't matter how many against you. The Bible says if God be for you, so it don't matter who comes against you. It's God for you. That's the key. Now, when Abraham got blessed, you know what he did? He paid his tithes. And the Bible says he paid tithes of what? All. Anytime you read tithes in the Bible, you're going to see the word all. You know why? Because God intends for you to pay all of your tithes, not some of them. And when you miss your tithe, you need to take 5% on that. We don't do that. That's why your finances jacked up. Read.
Yeah.
Pastor Trice, I don't tithe, but I got some money. You're going to have a loan. Want me to tell you why? Because that means God is a lie. And this is what's going to happen. You didn't miss $5,000 worth of tithe. Something's going to happen where it costs you $5,000. I've been getting away. You'd be surprised people in church trying to be slick. How can you hide from God? Well, see, I don't tithe. Don't tell me about that tithe stuff. I got plenty of money in the bank. All I got to do is say, you know what can happen? You can get sick. And all that money that's in here will go to the doctor. I'm just trying to show you. You can't get it. You can't get around the truth. Well, I've been getting by for 3 years. Don't worry. It's finna catch up to you. Some of us going through right now. I want to know why this happened to me. Because you've been stealing from God.
Yes, sir.
It's no difference if you default on the loan. Is it going to go away? Well, see, I'm going to put this in the back of my mind. I'm going to keep driving this car. Okay, park it. And see what they do. You come out, somebody stole my car. No, they ain't steal it. It got repossessed because you stopped paying the note on the car. Watch this, read.
And the king of Sodom said unto Abram, give me the persons and take the goods to thyself.
Watch this, verse 22.
And Abraham said to the king of Sodom, I have lifted up mine hand unto the Lord.
Watch this.
The Most High God, the possessor of heaven and earth.
Verse 23.
That I will not take from a thread even to a shoe latchet, and that I will not take anything that is thine.
Watch this. The king of Sodom was a crook. And how many know you don't have to hook or crook or swing down no pole to get ahead? If you want to get ahead materially, financially, then you're going to have to do it God's way. What's God's way? Tithe and offering. That's how you get ahead. Not by doing a scratch off. I said that this morning. I was at the getting some gas, and this woman was playing a scratch off, and she go to church. She never did see me, and she playing the lottery. I started to slap upside her head. You know why I start to slap upside her head? Because she loudest one in church. You ever seen somebody always loud? Them the main folk ain't doing nothing. How you playing a lottery? And you always standing up, test the line. She didn't even see me. I'm glad she wasn't a member of my head. I would have slapped upside her head. She went to another church, but I happen to know her. She never saw me. I went and got my gas, and then she got her back turned playing scratch and all. I started and singing to somebody's choir. Say hypocrite. And I guarantee she don't pay no tithe, but you using money to buy a scratch off. Watch this, read.
Lest thou should say, I have made Abram rich.
You know why Abraham didn't take nothing from the king of Sodom? Because he didn't want the king of Sodom to get the credit for him being rich. Underline rich. The Bible says that Abraham was rich. Now watch this. Rich don't always mean millionaire. I don't have to be rich to be a millionaire. You have $100,000 you ain't never had. Ain't that rich? But this is what I want you to see you. He had access to the supernatural, and he lived an abundant life. You know why? He was a tither. All right, let's go to our next scripture. Where we at? 2 Chronicles 31. We talking about what is the tithe, the benefits of tithing. It's important to tithe, man. You know why? Somebody say why? That tithe does not belong to you. It belongs in the house of God. I got a relationship with God, but you stealing from him? What type of relationship I want to y'all got? None. 2 Chronicles 31, verse 4 and 8. Read.
Moreover, he commanded the people that dwelt in Jerusalem to give the portion of the priest and the Levites.
Watch this. Moreover, he commanded. This word commanded, instructed. This is Moses talking to the people of God. He said that dwell in Jerusalem to give the portion of the priest to the Levites, and they may encourage him in the Lord. Well, know what he's talking about? Giving to your man and woman of God. A lot of preachers don't preach this, but you doing the people that's under you a disjustice if you don't teach them how to sow into you. Want me to tell you why? Somebody say why? What's on me is some on me. You know how I get on you? 2 ways. Sowing into me and following me closely. Watch this. I was up under Bishop McDaniels for 6.5 years. I sold into him and I followed him. Guess what? His anointing and favor is up on me. I was with Bishop Holloway for 8 years. I sold into him for 8 years and I followed him closely. His anointing is up on me. That's 2 anointings, right? And I got my own anointing. Now I'm with Dr. Leroy Thompson. His anointing is up on me. So I got 4 anointings. No wonder I'm so blessed. You ain't got to apologize for folks because you blessed. So I'm trying to show you how to get the anointing on you. What's on me, if you want to, it's not on you because you're a member of this church. You know how you get it? You have to sow into it, and you have to follow me as I follow Christ. That's how you get it. Read.
Verse 5.
Verse 5, here we go.
And as soon as the commandment came abroad.
Watch this. As soon as the instruction went forth to the people, look what happened.
The children of Israel brought in abundance the first fruits.
The children of Israel is the people of God. They brought in abundance the first fruit. Watch this. The first fruit is the first part of the harvest. So when they got paid, they took out what belongs to God and brought it to the house of God. Read.
Of corn.
So when they first got their batch of corn, you know what they took? They took out the first batch for God and gave it to God and kept the rest. Read.
Of wine.
And when they got their wine, they took out the first part and gave it to God and they kept the rest. Read.
And oil.
And the oil.
And honey.
Watch this. They work in the process. They work in the principle. We don't understand that tithes and offerings are principles. Principles mean recipe. Y'all quiet. You know what the Bible is? A book of recipes. Anybody can cook? If you can't cook, then you need a recipe book. And all you have to do, watch this, is follow it. Now this is how we do. The instructions right in front of you, and it say add a certain amount of milk, but you're going to put a whole jug of milk in there. Why? Somebody asked this question. Why is it we have a problem with following instructions? We always got to add something or take some from something. No wonder we ain't getting the right results. Because we always trying to get around something. Well, watch this. You can't get around God because he's too wide that you can't get around him. He's too high, you can't get over him. He's too low, you can't get up under him. So you must come through the door. So this is what we do. We dance around the truth for 10 and 15 years, and now we 15, 20 years behind in our walk with God because we trying to be slick and we don't want to be honest, and we think somebody trying to get over on us, and we listening to all these ignorant preachers. And all these ignorant preachers can't keep their church open because they ain't got no money, because they're afraid to talk about money. Whatever you want to see in your ministry, you got to talk about it. I looked on a website the other day. It's a lot of churches for sale. I wonder why. Ain't got no money. Watch this. Watch this. Watch this. Everything is a business. Everything. White Castle, Macy's, Honda, Kmart, Target. It's a business. The church is a, when you say this, I ain't no business. It's a business. You know who business it is? Every business needs money to function. You start a business and people don't support it, and see how long you be in business. I got any business owners? It takes money to have a business. If you don't have any money, you ain't gonna have no business. God showed me this too. You may have a business, that don't mean you're a businessman. You may have a business, don't mean you're a businesswoman. You know what a businessman is and a businesswoman? A person who take care of business. You may have a business per se, but that don't make you a businessman. A businessman pays his bills. See, a lot of folks, I got my own business. That don't mean you're a businessman. You want me to tell you why? Do you pay your bills on time? Y'all quiet on that one. So the church is a business like everything else, and it takes money to run a church. And God came up with the system of tithes and offerings, and a lot of folks don't pay tithes and offerings, but they say they love God, and they say they have a relationship with God, and they say God gonna bless me. No, he ain't. Read.
And all of the increase of the field.
So every time they got an increase, that's another issue in the church. You done have 5 promotions, but ain't gave God no increase. You're lying. I just tell you, a liar. Some of us have got a $2 raise, $3 raise, but your giving is the same. You know why? Somebody say why? Because you're dishonest. Sometimes God does stuff to show you where you at. God bless him, he Pastor Trice. No, he trying to show you where you at. Sometimes God will give you a lot of money and step back and see what you're going to do. Watch this. If you didn't do nothing with a little, you're going to do the same thing you do with a lot. Watch this. The way in which you handle your finances will mark your spiritual commitment to God. It is often been said that more could be learned about a person's commitment to Christ by looking at their checkbook rather than their prayer book. You say that one again. More can be told where you really at with Christ by your checkbook and not your prayer book. I know some folk got a long prayer book. Ain't nothing happening. You know why? Because you don't have a long checkbook that's given to God. Some of y'all don't like this. I don't care if you don't like it or not. I'm trying to help you get out the rut that you in financially. I can look at some of y'all face. I'll be glad when he hurry up. You know why you glad? You know why you glad? Because you ain't right. And these preachers scared of you because they think you're going to leave. You need to leave anyway because you ain't doing nothing here no way. Let me help you out. You ain't doing nothing but sucking up air and moving and taking up space. Well, so-and-so left. We ain't leaving nothing when they left. We ain't losing nothing. Let me tell you why. They wasn't doing that when they was here. I know y'all don't like that one, do you? So-and-so left and she was just a powerhouse. She was just a lot of noise. Wasn't busting a grape. I'm just telling you. When so-and-so leave, they going to go under. So-and-so wasn't even doing that when they was here. You just don't know that. All you looking at is what they doing on the surface. I know the real deal because I look at the books. This one person got offended and left and wouldn't call me back. So I said, I looked at the records. Been here 6 months and gave a dime. Y'all quiet. Watch this. This is what the scripture say. I'm going to help you out. Where your treasure is. See, when you get your money here, your heart here. When you don't get your money here, your heart ain't here. So every little thing move you. I'm trying to help you out. Where we at? I done lost my spot.
Okay. And the tithe of all things brought they in abundantly.
And the tithes, the 10% of all things brought they in abundance. So they gave God what belongs to him. They brought the tithe in the house of God because that's where it belongs. The tithe don't belong to the weed plate people. Your 10% don't belong to the nail folk. Watch this. God give you 90 and he say, I just want 10. You know what we doing? We taking a whole 100. Say 100. Is that it?
Verse 6.
Verse 6.
And concerning the children of Israel and Judah that dwelt in the cities of Judah.
Now notice the children of Israel and the children of Judah is who? The people of God. Read.
They also brought in the tithe.
They also brought in the tithes.
Of oxen and sheep. And the tithe of holy things, which were consecrated unto the Lord their God, and laid them by heaps.
Watch this. They brought all what they were supposed to bring in the house of God, and they put it on the altar. It started growing up in heaps. It was so much. You know what they was experiencing? Overflow, because people was honest, and God was blessing them, and they was blessing the house of God. A lot of churches are struggling because folk do not tithe, and they don't give offerings like they should. And you wonder why the majority of the body of Christ don't have nothing. See how quiet it got? All right, what's the next scripture we at?
We want to finish 7 and 8?
Yes, just 6.
Okay, amen. So now we go to Malachi 3 and 8.
Malachi 3 and 8. We're talking about tithing. It's a principle that we've been ignoring and we've been putting in the back of our mind because we really don't want to do it. Well, don't do it and see what happens. That's all I can tell you. I mean, what you want me to do? My job is to feed you with knowledge and understanding. You want to stay ignorant and broke? All right. I'm not just satisfied with shouting and dancing and coming to church. We had a good time, but then you get no results. Watch this. Read 3 and 8.
Will a man rob God?
The prophet asked the question, will a man rob God?
Yet he have robbed me.
Read.
But ye say, wherein have we robbed?
They didn't understand that they was robbing God. Watch this. It's a difference in stealing from somebody and robbing them. What's the difference? The difference, if you steal something, that means I don't know you took it. You're doing it behind my back when I'm watching. Robbing means I'm taking a pistol and I'm getting in your face, say, give me your money. That's a difference. How many know the penalty for robbery is already in place? I think it's 15 years to 20. For if you just bodaciously rob somebody, right? It's consequences, right? Come on, y'all participate with me. Y'all like y'all scared. Read.
In tithes and offerings.
Watch this. How was they robbing God? By taking tithes and not giving offerings. So they was taking the 10% that belonged in the house of God, and then the offerings, they weren't giving any offerings. Read.
You are cursed with a curse.
Wow. God said, if you take my tithe, you curse with a curse. That means problem on top of problem. And a lot of us having problem on top of problem, stuff breaking, and you ain't got the money to get it fixed. And then when that breaks, something else break. Y'all quiet. House falling apart, car raggedy. Can't get a new one. Sound like to me it's a curse. The Bible says that you're cursed. It's one thing to be cursed, but he said you curse with a curse. Read.
For ye have robbed me.
Watch this. God said you have robbed me. You have purposely taken what belongs to me.
Even this whole nation.
I guarantee y'all, it's some folk gonna walk out of here and say, I don't care what he said. Okay. That's the mindset people got. You know why? Because really it's a heart issue. Ye are cursed with a curse. Ye have robbed me, even this whole nation. You know why America's so jacked up financially? Because this whole nation has robbed God. So you know what God's saying? Even if you ain't a Christian, you still supposed to pay tithe, because I'm the one who gave you the job. So watch this. Even though you are ignorant, that's still not an excuse for you not doing it. Even though you don't come to church, even though you don't know about tithes, you still going to suffer the consequences because of your ignorance. How many know what you don't know will still hurt you? I don't know. It's going to hurt you. Y'all quiet on this one. Read.
Bring ye all the tithes into the storehouse.
Bring some of them. Read.
That there may be meat in my house.
We don't have storehouses. We have church houses. He said, bring ye all the tithes into my house, that there may be meat in my house. That word meat means provision. Watch this. Macy's got provision. White Castle's got provision. You know why? Because people supporting them. When you say you're a Christian, why don't you support the gospel? Why don't you support the work of ministry? So we can have provision here. Watch this. Y'all, please don't get offended. You know people always need help here? Folks who don't tithe. Can you pay our bill? No. Is it wise for us to take people money that give their tithes and offerings and give it to people who don't? That's not wise. I wouldn't be considered a wise steward. The folk who always got a need is the folks who don't get nothing. And then watch this. I've had people do this. When they say they can't do it and they leave the church. What was your motive? We help our members. One of the prerequisites for helping members, the first thing, if you come to us for money, they're going to see if you tithe. If you don't tithe, then why would we give people money to folks who don't tithe? The next prerequisite is it a dire need. You take your money and go out of town, and you come back, you want us to pay your rent. You shouldn't have went out of town. Y'all quiet on them. We not being wise. So we have an order in which you have to go through. You have to qualify for us to give you money for your rent and all that. If you tired, it's a dire need, then we help you. That's how we do it. You know why? Because we got some provision. Because we got some people that do give. My conscience wouldn't even let me come and ask for some money and I don't tithe. So what type of conscience you got? I can tell you what your problem is. Y'all ready? And your mama didn't tell you what I'm finna tell you. Your daddy didn't tell you. Your principal, your coach is something to tell you. You selfish. You selfish. You think about yourself. When people selfish, they don't care nothing about you. Why I keep giving to this person, they ain't giving nothing back? Because they selfish? Y'all ready? You keep having sex with a man, but he won't marry you. If you keep giving it to him, he ain't finna marry you. I just lost some members. I ain't trusting you, I'm trusting God. Because you'll flip on me like a rattlesnake. Read.
And prove me now.
God said if you bring your tithes and offerings into the house of God, then you put me to the test. He said, prove me. This word prove means test. And how many know God don't fail tests? So know what that means? When you do what you're supposed to do with your finances, when it comes to God, God is obligated to rescue you. Read.
If I will not open you the windows of heaven.
Watch this.
And pour you out a blessing.
Let me show you one of the benefits that come with tithing. God open up stuff to you. When you are a tither, then God will open up the windows. There's windows in heaven, and there's doors. What's the purpose of a window? What's the purpose of a door? It gives you access to something. So when you are a tither, you have access to the windows of heaven, to the provision of God. Windows. Go home and leave your windows open and don't close them. See what happens. Some gonna come in that shouldn't be in. So you know what God is saying? When you are a tither, I will open up opportunities for you that I don't open up for everybody. And this is the thing, once he opening up, you got to go through it quick because it's going to close. You know what doors represents? Opportunities. So it doesn't matter what's going on in the world's economy. If you do what I tell you to do, I will create a job for you that don't even exist. I'll create financial wealth for you that don't even exist. You know what tithing does? Say it creates financial opportunities. This is the key. Create means that something that don't exist, I cause it to exist. And if you are a tither, you've been tithing, you know what I'm talking about. When something happens and you don't see no way, God creates the way. You know why? Because God has to honor the fact that you are a tither. Read.
And pour you out a blessing, that there shall not be room enough to receive it.
God said the second benefit, I'll pour you out a blessing that you won't even have room enough to receive it. I'll pour you out so much, man, you won't know what to do. God said, if you just honor me with your tithes and your offerings, read.
And I will rebuke the devourer for your sake.
Who is the devourer? Next benefit, he'll stop the devil from doing what he want to do to you. You know why? Because tithing is an insurance policy. It protects you against loss. Anybody got insurance? All right. If you got. Hi, I'm Dr. Anthony L. Trice. I'm the senior pastor of Covenant for Life Christian Center Church in St. Louis. I have some exciting news. I just finished my new book, Integrity, the Missing Ingredient. This is a life-changing book. This is a book about the story of Job. Job chapter 1 talks about how Job was upright. That means he was a man that can be trusted. He was a man of integrity. I discovered when God can trust you, he'll give you the world. And Job showed in Job chapter 1 how prosperous Job was because God was able to trust Job because Job was a man of integrity. So go to my website and order my new book, Integrity, the Missing Ingredient, at anthonytrice.org, or you can go to lifeway.org. God bless you.